Have you ever been on someone's Instagram that you follow and that you're inspired by, and you just feel like, if only I was like them, if only I could just do that, then that would be worth it. That would be great. I could just do that. I feel like that quite a lot of the time, and I'm not the only one who feels like that. That's called comparison. And because this year I've been spending more time on Instagram, of being more intentional about uploading images of my work and basically making it a portfolio, that means I've been spending more time following and consuming what other people have put on Instagram too, whether it's lettering work or other pieces of artwork. I find myself so infatuated with Instagram and the things that people put on there that I just start comparing my work with it, and it sort of slowly demotivates me and makes me feel like I'm not good enough. This happens to me all the time over Twitter and different websites and just hearing different people's stories. And that is basically the definition of comparison, is comparing your abilities or something about yourself with another person. Comparison is, one, a good thing, but also two, it's not a good thing. There's two different sides to it. I think comparison is a great thing when we compare something bad with good to make something good out of it. I'm not saying people are bad. I'm just saying if my work was bad, then I could compare that with someone else's and I can get constructive criticism about that piece of work and I can make it 10 times better. But when I start comparing myself with other people or myself with other people's abilities that I just can't do, then it's a different story. This video is coming from the questions that I get on my Instagram page, because a lot of people, not only to me, but are comparing themselves to other people and just thinking, oh, if only I could just get to that level. For me, it's more like, if only I could just get to that level of calligraphy where I'm a master penman, then I'll be fine. You see, comparison is good and bad. It can, one, spur you on, as I've said before, but two, it can destroy what you do. Comparison leads to lack of motivation, and it leaves your self-esteem not feeling very good. You know, because of social media and everything around us today, we find ourselves constantly comparing, whether it's our abilities, our looks and our bodies, the way we think, our friends with other people. And that's because I think of social media now readily available. I think because we have smartphones now where we can go on Instagram and we can see anything in the world, get any information, we start to see ourselves comparing against something that isn't true. What I've had to ask myself before looking on Instagram and different social medias is, what is my motives behind going onto these websites? Am I going onto these websites because I want to better myself, or because I want to look at something good? Or am I doing this to really critique myself and make myself feel bad? Obviously, I don't want to critique myself or make myself feel bad all the time, but that's what we end up doing. So why do we do it? You see, I'm a designer, so when I'm comparing my work or seeing other people's work, I just go, their ability is amazing. I can't think of anything better than what they've done. And I've said that a few times, and they've just got it perfect. This designer is complete perfection on paper. And then I take it personally and I go, oh, well, if I start comparing myself, then I take it personally of, I can't get to that level. And what I start to do is I start to strive to prove myself wrong. And what that leads to is sometimes disappointment. So how do we combat comparison in ourselves? I could be really easy in saying, oh, if you want to combat comparison in yourself, then just go ahead and delete all your social media and don't look into any other people's lives. What I think comparison is really trying to fit in and really trying to get to another person's level. And what I hate seeing, especially in the design community at the minute and the sort of creative community, is people comparing themselves, whether it's subscribers or whether it's followers and everything else, and people just give up because they're not good enough. I think the way to get rid of comparison in this day and age with social media is through celebrating the past goals. If I spent my day comparing my work with your work, then one of us is either going to be disappointed if I just keep pointing out negative things either about mine or yours. We're going to be disappointed about it. No one's going to feel elevated. But if I look at your work and I'm loving your work, and then I'm celebrating my small victory in what I've just done in my work, then it leaves us with a different impression, doesn't it? I'm really making this video because I know what it's like when you're a creative person and you've put your personality into your work, but you can't seem to help but feel this overwhelming sense of inadequacy in your work. And, you know, to be honest, you'll never get rid of that. I remember feeling the same way I do now about my work 2 years ago. Although I know from what you've said that my work has gotten better, but I still feel this sense of inadequacy. So the way that I've combated doing that is by celebrating what I've done in the past. The way that I've combated this feeling of inadequacy is by celebrating the work that I've just done. If you're someone who's starting a new goal or doing something else, whether it's the New Year's resolutions like weight loss or just being more healthy, or you want to read a few books and you start comparing yourself, make sure you start celebrating what you've already done. Don't feel like because you may be higher or lower that you're better or worse than the other person. You got to feel like, oh yeah, we can celebrate that. And they're at that level, that's great, but I'm on my own level now. I'm on my own sort of path going to where I need to be. The moral of this video is really to not compare yourself in a light of another person's. Comparison will influence you into different areas of work where you don't want to be. Don't feel like because you're comparing with other people that you have to go in a certain direction. Celebrate what you've done in the past and look back there and work on your own plane. I hope this video was helpful to some of you guys. It's a bit of a different video because I'm just talking about comparing yourselves, whether it's your work or just yourself to another person. Let me know down in the comment section below what you mostly compare yourself with and what effects it has on you. Also, I've got a new hand lettering course coming out in a couple of months. So if you want to go ahead and get some updates on how that's going and get an email with a 50% coupon code, then go and sign your name up in that email link down below. I won't spam you, it's just to tell you when the course is live. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on Monday for Creative Bar. See you later.